Hello, my fellow travelers. Thank you for joining me again on Travels Through Tea, day 24 of the 24 days of tea. We have learned so much together. Today we're going to be looking at a chamomile mint citrus green tea. Okay, everything is in the title, right? That's what we've learned. So we know it's a green tea. This is not, even though it has chamomile or chamomile in it, this is not an herbal infusion. This is an actual tea because it contains green tea, Camellia sinensis, but they've added that wonderful apple-scented chamomile flower, as well as mint and some citrus. So again, the tea sommeliers out there, they like to take all these different things, put them together, play with them, see what they come up with. And this is what we have today. So let's take a look. Chamomile mint. This smells like such a mild mint with sort of a lemon undertone. The chamomile in there, well, of course it's in there, is very, very faint. You can see the green tea leaves. Oh, there's a little chamomile bud. Oh, beautiful. It smells wonderful. It's very, in fact, it's not overpowering. It's not like a potpourri. It's so beautifully lightly scented with those wonderful, spearmint leaves. All right, so one of the things that we've covered is when and where tea grows. The climate affects it, the soil affects its flavor, the region that it's grown in affects its flavor, the amount of sunlight and rain. We've had teas from the Himalayas. We've had teas from China, oolong teas. We've had teas from Assam, and we've talked about the importance of what that meant to tea in the British Empire. We've had teas from Darjeeling, from Kashmir. Teas grow in Africa, India, China. So much more to talk about and to learn with these teas. We talked about first flush, which means that the tea was cultivated in spring, March or April. So the plant itself had all winter to kind of lay dormant and build up its flavors. And so these took so much longer to grow, and they have really strong in their antioxidants, a lot of flavor to them. But then the second flush means that their tea is harvested afterwards, in the middle of summer, around June, July, and the leaves didn't have as much time to grow, so they grew quicker, but they tend to be a little bit stronger as a result of that. And then there's also what's called an autumn flush. Not as common, but it does happen. So let's take a look at this actual green tea here. Chamomile mint, citrus. Whoops, I almost forgot again. All right. That's an almost clear tea. It's the color of a nice white wine or champagne. Quite beautiful. You can see things have opened up a bit. We didn't get a lot in there, but little leaves and flowers. So lovely. And there's got to be mint leaves in this one as well. Beautiful color. Very pale. The chamomile is much stronger here. That apple scented flower alongside the mint. Quite beautiful. The very first thing to hit your tongue is that slight apple of the chamomile, but it is immediately replaced by a subtle mint. This is very refreshing. This is a very refreshing tea, but not overbearing. You can kind of feel it in the back of your nose, but it's not so strong that it would, clear it or be anything like that. A really, really beautiful tea. All right, we have so much more to talk about. So I've been trying to do this daily, to do the 24 days of tea. I will switch to weekly now that the rest of the year is coming on, the new year. And I really hope you've enjoyed this. We have so much to talk about. What kind of water to use? What are other sorts of teas to review? Where do they come from? Which are endorsed by royalty? What's the difference between tea dust and leaf teas and all the varieties in between? Because there are so many different ways which tea can be presented. What's the difference between a tea kettle and a teapot? What are the different kinds of teapots? How do you treat your teapot? We can again go over how to actually make the tea. What different temperatures are that affect it, what different regions are, how the different regions affect it, what their importance is in the history of tea. What are some of the parts of the history of tea that make it so exciting and so amazing? Why do people like it so much? Why is it the national drink of England? So many topics. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed this introduction. Thank you for walking with me through my first time ever doing these videos. They're rough. They're diamonds in the rough. And I hope you've enjoyed them. I hope that you've gotten something from them, and that I will see you again in the very near future. All right, thank you so much for joining. Happy travels.